What's one word to describe how you feel about Titans Jags Week 18 for the AFC South title? Win and get in Saturday night live at Jacksonville, 7:15 p.m. Central Time for the regular season finale between another Tennessee versus Clemson matchup. How about that? How about Josh Dobbs versus Trevor Lawrence right there? So, all right, Zach, I'll send you to the comment section. What's one word to describe how you feel about Titans Jags Week 18 winning it in, taking a temperature check on a Monday before this Saturday night game?
This temperature check, I don't think they feel good. If you get your temperature, you say, oh, that's not good. Bradley says concern, doubtful from Jarrett, indifferent from Steven, turncoat from Jared, freaking from Steven, trouble from Jacob, hopeful from David, good from Augustine, disappointed from Donald, uncertain from Jason, a couple of hopeful from Dez and Orlando. CJ says excited, hopeful from Nick, embarrassed from Brad, meh from Bama Brad, confident from Billy Jones, tank from Brandon, questioning from Tighten Up, uncertain from Hindanger. Brian says defense. Big Ten Jeff says lose. Hopeless from Adam. It's funny, we got a hopeful and we got a hopeless. I mean, that's kind of the temperature check. Speaking of what this chat is saying, nervous from John, melancholy from Jacob. There's a good word there. Indifferent from Cloud House. Allie says irrelevant. I actually think that it's very relevant on what the turn and position of what your franchise is going to head in. Destiny from Jonathan. Henry from John. Conflicted, which is a very good word. I'll stop there, Jody, and I'll say mine because that is probably the closest to mine. I think it's torn. That is my one word. The Titans are torn. You talk about a crossroads, which was the theme a couple of weeks ago. Well, so far they've chosen the wrong path, but maybe they've chosen the correct path. And we're going to talk about this later in the week of playoffs versus pick, but I think they're torn. I think that Amy Adams Strunk is the owner of the franchise and the looming new stadium in downtown Nashville. I think you're torn. Do you go, you realize who you are and you want to make the playoffs to make a lot of money because you're hosting a playoff game, to win another division, and then plus, keep the momentum from the Jacksonville Jaguars and a young quarterback who's played really good football of late? Or do you go the future route? So, Austin, there's a lot of things to diagnose here. I think my one word is this franchise is torn.
No, that's a good word. And I agree with what you're saying there. My one word for this is opportunistic. I think whichever way it turns out to happen, whichever result the Titans and Jags game ends with Saturday night, the Titans have a big opportunity. And so opportunistic to host a playoff game for the third consecutive year. When's the last time the Titans have won a home playoff game? Been a long time, Zach. You got to go back to, I believe, Joe Nedney getting a little acting job against the Steelers. The last time the Titans have won a home playoff game.
I was at that game.
Yeah, what was it, 2004? It might have been 04 season or the 03 season, whatever it was. It's a long time ago. And so you have
an innocent bystander in that game. Yeah. I was with my dad watching that game in Nissan Stadium, just NFL football junkie. God, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago since the Titans have won a home playoff game. Darren says it's the 02 season. So even further. So the 02 season, which would have been January of 03.
20 years?
20 years later, here we go.
I was 15. Jesus, I was 15 years old. I couldn't even drive. Yeah, I didn't have a single hair on my face. 15.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So again, opportunistic.
That's embarrassing.
So the Titans can get an opportunity because what happened? It was 08. They had a home playoff game, and the Ravens, twisted Chris Johnson's ankle in that pile, and it was over after that.
Then Algie Crumple fumbled.
And then that happened too. Yeah. Then you go to the the last couple of home playoff games where the Titans have lost. But I've won a lot of road playoff games in between those home wins there. So you've got that opportunity. And I don't want to dive too deep into this, Zach, today because I we're gonna have a lot of conversation leading up. But if you look at the NFL the AFC wildcard teams and how this is kind of playing out. Like, yes, the Chargers and the Ravens have clinched playoff spots. Then you've got the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Steelers. We've seen the Titans play close in LA against the Chargers. I don't think the Ravens are.
The Ravens are beatable, right?
Yeah, the Ravens are beatable, and really, it's those two teams. It's Chargers and Ravens, and you've gotten proof in a couple spots that you can play up against the Chargers, especially if you're hosting the Chargers, traveling from west to east on a playoff. So,
can you play up with the quarterback that you have? I think that's going to be the surrounding conversation this week or next week if they're in that scenario.
But again, my whole point is opportunistic. Is the Titans? I don't think it's ridiculous to think the Titans could win that home playoff game if they can beat the Jags, because beating the Jags would mean something. Means snapping the 6-game losing streak, winning on the road with not Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback, and presumably Josh Dobbs and Derrick Henry, to go see what you can do and flip a coin and try to go win a playoff game. It's not ridiculous to say that. But then the other side of my flipped coin of opportunistic is the draft opportunity. It's, if you do lose to the Jags, you have a massive opportunity with a potential top 10 pick to draft a franchise changer and a reset button overall in where this franchise is heading. So I don't think I kind of could talk myself, and we'll talk about this later in the week. There could be a win-win type of an approach to what this game means for the Titans overall. So my one word is opportunistic for the Titans going into this week.